Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. On the agenda tonight we have Fleetwood Mac, and I did a video on very early Fleetwood Mac with Danny Cohen and Peter Green as well. This is going to be a little bit later. This is from 1979, but I'm going to be looking at Lindsey Buckingham, just because I think he's a little bit underrated with his playing and singing as well. But let's get these guys up on screen and see how they're getting on. This is going to be them performing The Chain, so let's check this out. I'm just going to stop it there because we all know what's coming next. But I just want to mention a few things just about Lindsey's playing and the way that he plays fingerstyle. As you can see there, we had a really nice close-up of that right hand with that fingerstyle picking that he has. He's carrying the whole song. As you can hear, we haven't got the best sound. It would be great to have a direct line into the mixer here so we could hear it all a little bit more clearly. But 1979, there's quite a lot of crowd noise on this recording as well. But Lindsey's playing is the only rhythm that we get here. We've got the bass, and obviously Mick Fleetwood kind of is supplying the drums, but in terms of melodic rhythm playing, it's just Lindsey's guitar here, and he's supplying a vocal. So it's actually a really great sound. He's constantly playing those really great kind of bluesy lines in the background with that fingerstyle rhythm. There's a lot on his shoulders here to carry this whole track, and he does such a great job that you don't even really notice it. You just kind of listen to it and accept it as the song that it is, and you don't really actually think that, hang on, it's just one guy playing the guitar here and he's singing at the same time. He plays some great chord voicings as well, which give a really nice sound, especially with that fingerstyle on this kind of cleaner tone, almost acoustic sounding. But yes, we're now just about to start getting into the main kind of, I suppose, one of the most famous guitar solos and guitar parts of a song. But let's get into Lindsey's playing on the solo here, because a lot of people might recognize this just from F1. And then we're back into the vocal. What I love about this solo is that it's so full of melody. It's such a relatively simple solo in terms of the amount of notes that are played, but it's the expression and it's the way that Lindsey phrases the solo that is so cool. Kind of getting the solo down and playing it exactly the same way is so difficult because it's not one of those solos that's got a million notes, so it's not difficult to get down notes wise, but getting down the expression. I always say the hardest thing to get down in any solo is the expression within the notes, not just the notes themselves. So this solo is a classic example of that. And another thing to mention here is that bass line that introduces the solo. Occasionally you're going to get a bass line that's got a really great melody that it's almost like a lead guitar break in itself, but it's just really easy to listen to because it's just a great riff. And we've got John McVie who's playing it here. So yeah, really great bass line. It's kind of got that feel of John Deacon when, for Queen, Another One Bites the Dust. Sometimes you get these bass lines that just stick out as a melody themselves, and it's such an art to write a bass line. Sometimes bass just goes under the radar as one of those instruments that's just the foundation and something that's going to be sitting in the background, where some bassists have really got the ability to write parts that are so melody driven that you end up kind of humming the bass lines, which is quite a rare thing. Another thing, Geddy Lee in Rush, a classic example of having bass lines that actually stand up on their own. So a really cool introduction to this solo by having such a strong melody on the bass. It would be so easy here for Lindsey to play something that didn't fit over that bass line because the bass line's so strong. So it's really great writing to get a solo that not only complements the bass, but actually stands up on its own as well. It's such a great little solo we've got here. He just uses his first finger here. He doesn't use a pick like I mentioned. He's using the finger style. So he's playing the guitar with his first finger. You might be able to see it in the video if you kind of rewind it and have a little look at it. But he's just striking down on the strings with that first finger, the nail of his first finger to act as a pick to get that more aggressive sound. So yeah, great implementation of getting that harsher dynamic sound. Let's have a little look at the rest of this video. It's not going to go on for too much longer, but just to kind of resolve the song. I'm just going to stop it there because all we're going to be watching now is the crowd kind of erupting. But when you boil it all down, all we've got here really is drums, bass and rhythm guitar. So Lindsey's supplying all of that melodic content. So really carrying the track here, and he gets such a great sound. So for an effective three-piece, what a great sound they make. John McVie on bass as well, who's playing some great bass lines, really solid bass here all the way through, a great foundation. But also when this track starts to pick up towards the end here, he's really nailing down that melodic bass line that everyone knows. So really great playing from John, and you've got to admire the way Mick Fleetwood plays drums as well. He just gets into it and he kind of gets everyone else into it. It's like infectious when you watch him play. He's just a great drummer to watch. He just kind of loves the music, and it's one of those things you just love watching. Yeah, really cool video here from 1979, Fleetwood Mac. Thank you for suggesting this one for me to take a look at. Keep those suggestions coming in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!